I've only been to Baltimore one time. I ate lunch there, and the hostess who like seats you at the restaurant had a black eye. A full black eye. And it wasn't like, what happened? It was pretty obvious what happened. And we couldn't get over the fact that we're like, this is the face of the company? Like, this is who you have greeting people? My boy who I was with was like, yeah, I feel bad for her, man. I feel like they should put her in the kitchen or something where nobody has to see her face, you know? And I was like, yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye.
As you can see, Matt Rife made a joke. You heard the joke. Lots of people are angry with Matt Rife about the joke that he made. Mainly women. Women who claim that he's making fun of abuse and domestic abuse, violence, and victims. They assume that he never experienced DV, so that's why he's joking about it, and that he's in the wrong for that, as well as being insensitive towards women who have experienced domestic violence. Not even men, just women. Notice that we haven't even seen any men piping up about this. Just women. Even though men also suffer from domestic violence as well. They made a lot of assumptions about his life because of the joke. How do they know that he hasn't experienced anything like that, and that's how he copes with it? And what's crazy is that when he thought he should apologize for what he said in the joke, he posted his link to a special needs helmet link, to where they could like donate that stuff too. So I think that was really cool that instead of, capitulating to, the people who were, feeling triggered by this, he said, hey, while you're over here complaining, go ahead and actually contribute to something that actually matters instead of complaining about me. Do something real. Stop this performative activism and actually contribute to doing something good with your lives. I am a straight minority man who is a victim of racism, sexual assault, and sexual harassment from other men. It still hurts when I think about how I had no one to turn to because I had no proof. I, however, joke about sex and sexual assault and sexual harassment and racism and make fun of myself as a form of to cope with it. I make fun of, the situation. And if someone feels uncomfortable about that and they approach me with it, then, that's just something that I tell them that, hey, I'm just using it to cope. No one knows I'm a victim of sexual assault and sexual harassment and racism unless they ask, and then I may or may not tell them my story. I don't owe anyone an explanation. I can divulge that information at my own discretion and when I feel comfortable, just as he can. If someone makes the assumption about me or him, then that's their own personal problem. That says more about them than it does about me. The joke itself had absolutely nothing to do with domestic violence, but leftist liberal feminist women, many of which likely never really experienced abuse, or if they did, chose to stay in that same situation while continuing not to make good decisions and a plan to leave, nor had one to begin with in any case, are the ones that got angry about it. Let's be honest. If there's ever been someone or something that I didn't find, palatable to me, I didn't find it funny, I didn't find it, resonatable with who I am and what I believed, I just didn't watch it. Plain as that. If something is truly misogynistic or misandrist or, whatever, and I feel like I can't get through it, whether it's too racist or whatever, I just don't watch it. And some I do, just because I feel like, well, maybe they'll prove me wrong. Or it's something interesting to comment on. And it's crazy how people can't even so much as breathe without a trigger warning of some kind. Furthermore, the same women who thought he was funny and sexy, maybe because to them he was funny because he was sexy, are the same ones who are saying that he isn't funny and the only reason he got to where he is because of pretty privilege and because he's attractive. And that's why you supported him, right? Because he was attractive. So you contributed to pretty privilege, then scold him for the very thing you contributed to his fame with. Make that make sense. Y'all will find anything to be miserable and unhappy about. That's why you should just stick with listening to unfunny, garbage, leftist, liberal, feminist comedians who make horrible jokes about, men and being misandrist. Yeah, I watch them too. Their whole show is just nothing but man-hating jokes, and that's okay, but you'll get mad if Matt Rife does this, right? That's so weird. You claim to be better or equal to us. In what reality? On what planet? In your imagination. That is the only place in which that can actually happen. How can you be equal to us and still be uniquely a victim? Sit down, shut up, and be humble.